I have a theory that people will choose you when you choose yourself. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are listening to the Mindspo podcast, and this is my I Have a Theory series, where I am sharing a theory every single day all throughout January 2026. So there are 31 theories for you to binge in this series, and I am talking about love, relationships, manifestation, nervous system regulation, all of the things. And today's theory is one that I have had a lot of experience with and I feel so passionately about. And it is the theory, like I said, that they will choose you when you choose yourself. And let's talk about who they are. For me, when I'm saying they in this particular conversation, I'm really talking about the people that you want to choose you. This is maybe your customers, this is maybe your peers, this is your friends, this is the people that you are in relationship with or you want to be in relationship with. It is the people that you want to be chosen by, that you want to be cherished by and appreciated by. And I feel like so many of us can be in this kind of toxic relationship with the people that we want to be in relationship with, where we can be in this chasing energy. And I spoke about the idea of don't chase, attract in another episode. So if you're interested in this whole topic section, I will link that down below. And I think it's really easy to make the mistake of believing that if we chase someone, if we choose someone, if we pour all our energy into someone, then finally they will pour back into us. But that's not really how it works. So often I see when it comes to people that are in this, choosing other people energy where they are just giving and giving and giving and people pleasing and serving, they end up with their cup completely empty. And they continue to try and pour into people from an empty cup. And the thing is, other people can notice that. Other people can notice when you are in a desperate energy, because desperation really is a stinky cologne. It is something that no one wants to be around. Imagine when you walk into a shop and you are just browsing and you're just like enjoying browsing, looking at all of the different racks. And now imagine what it feels like, and I'm sure you know what it feels like, for a sales assistant to come up to you and ask, "Hi, do you need any help?" And you say, "No, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just looking." And then instead of them just allowing you to continue looking, continue being in your own energy, browsing, enjoying yourself in the shop, having an experience, they instead follow you around and they have their eye on you and they're ready. "Oh, do you need another size in that? Can I help you with this?" And it might to the salesperson feel like, "Oh, I'm just there. I'm ready. I'm serving. I'm there to help." But to you, it feels like suffocation. It feels like, "Oh my gosh, I just wanted to browse." I know for me, whenever that happens in a shop, I am out. I'm a beeline out. I do not want someone looking over my shoulder, asking me for help every 5 seconds. If I need help, I'll ask for it. And this is the same thing with people. When people can sense that you are desperate, like you really want their money or that you really want their attention or you want their love, then they're more likely to pull away, especially if that person is avoidant. And we have a lot of people that have an avoidant attachment style in this current reality that we are living in. And then we also have a lot of people that are in this anxious attachment, that are constantly in this pursuing, that feel like they get their validation from other people telling them that they are good, that they want them, that they love them. And I'm definitely someone that has come from the anxious attachment style. And I used to be someone that would be chasing people. I would chase friends. I would chase people in business. I would chase people that were potential customers or clients. I would chase my partner. I would chase my family. Like I would be constantly in the pursuit of wanting love, recognition, time, and to be chosen by these people. And I've done that for very, very, very many years. And I learned that in the process of doing that, all it ever got me was a sense of rejection, a sense of distance, a sense of feeling like these people were pulling away from me rather than pulling me closer, because they never actually felt my energy disappear. Because here's the thing, I feel like when someone is always there, like consistently there, and not just there, but there to the point where they're never leaving their presence, like they are kind of all seeing, all there, all bearing, kind of like a hover mum. We never actually feel what it's like to be without this person. And when we don't feel what it's like to be without this person, we never get a chance to energetically miss them. And energetics are so interesting because although you might not be physically there, even just your energetic presence of always being ready to go, always being there on speed dial, it creates this feeling like that person doesn't ever have to work for your connection. They never have to pour into you because you've never stopped pouring into them. And the minute you stop pouring into people, and the minute instead of being there for everyone at all times, instead being there for yourself at all times, looking after yourself at all times, that is when people start wanting you again because they start seeing that you're looking after yourself, that you're investing in yourself, that you actually have priorities outside of them. And when people don't feel as wanted, as needed, as desired by someone else, they all of a sudden turn around and they want and they need and they desire you. And then the relationship comes into balance. And I have seen this play out so many times because I am someone that actually runs a self-love retreat in Bali. My company, Mindspo Retreats, has run this now since 2018. And this has really turned into one of our main offerings. So if you are new to the podcast and the Mindspo world, you might not know that this is going on, but I created a very, very specific self-love program. It is a 7-day program that goes on in Bali in person. And I now have 2 incredible facilitators that facilitate the exact program that I created with all of the ceremonies, all of the rituals, all of the lessons, all of the excursions. It is a retreat that is specifically designed for this reason. It is a retreat designed to help you pour into you, to invest in the most important relationship that you will ever have in your entire life. And that is your relationship with you. And we see so many women, and I have seen so many women because I used to run this retreat full time. I've done over 25 of them. I think now we've done over 40 of them in total. So this is like a very solid, amazing program that has been tried and tested. We've had over 1,000 students go through it, and we have reviews from people all over the world. And we have noticed from running this program how powerful it is when women stop pouring into other people in their life and instead start pouring into themselves. And quite often the women that join this retreat are women that have been in that anxious attachment style, that constant pursuing energy, that have been, the oldest daughter, the nurse, the one that is always there for everyone, the one that was strung along by some guy that never actually wanted them in the first place, but they were just always there, always providing, always helping, so that man never broke it off with her until like the last minute when she thought there was going to be a marriage. Like, it is crazy. The women that come on this retreat are really quite often women that have been professional pourers. They have just been these women that have been so amazing for all these people in their lives, but they haven't been amazing for themselves and their own life. And I truly believe that when a woman decides to stop pouring into everyone else and to start pouring into herself, that is when her value skyrockets, because that is when she realizes how worthy she is. Imagine putting in the same time and effort that you put into everyone else, but instead into yourself. Like, how much further along would you be in your life? How much further along would you be in your career, in the way you look after yourself, in your health and your wellness? Imagine you cared for yourself the way you cared for your children or your parents or your brothers or your sisters or your friends or even your boss. Like, imagine pouring into yourself that much. That is what happens when you choose yourself. And when you choose yourself, your value skyrockets. And this is why self-love is fluffy as I feel some people think it sounds, but self-love really is the foundation, because self-worth is where you decide your value. So how do you do this? How do you choose yourself? I want to give you some very practical advice so you can start actioning this idea and this theory that I have that I know is true, that they will choose you when you choose yourself. The first one is, I want you to start dating yourself. I want you to start being with yourself and being in your own energy and doing the things that you would want to do with other people that you've been waiting other people to do with you, and instead do them by yourself, for yourself, with yourself. Dating yourself is one of the most powerful things that I think anyone can do, whether you're in a relationship or not. Because as I always say, and I'm going to keep reminding you, your relationship with you is the longest relationship relationship you will ever have in your life. And your relationship with you is the foundation of every other relationship you will have. And if you're not having a strong, calm, cool, centered, regulated, collected, bonded relationship with yourself, and instead your relationship with you is based on all your other relationships with everyone else, it is not a good foundation. And when I started doing this, started really dating myself and remembering what it felt like to be in my own energy, because to remind you here, I have been in a 15-year-long relationship. It really highlighted to me how important it is to be in my own presence, to really remember who I am as an individual. And that doesn't mean that the relationship or the partnership that I have with, the other people in my life aren't great and amazing and beautiful. But I do recognize that sometimes they can cloud my own judgment, and I can start to show up and think and interact and behave as these other people because I'm around them so much. I'm absorbing so much of their energy. But when we can pull away from other people and instead pull into ourselves by dating ourselves, by taking the time to do the things that we want to do for us, we remember who we are and we remember our individuality. And I also think it reminds other people that, you know what, we're not waiting on them to do the things that we want to do in our life. And I think some people in our lives think that we're always going to be waiting for them. And you shouldn't always be waiting for them. You should give people a chance to do things with you. But if they keep saying no, if they keep saying, oh, not now, and they keep delaying that interaction with you, show them that you're not waiting for them. Show them that you're actually going to go and do the thing with them or without them. And then that's going to make them go, oh, wow, actually, like maybe I'll come to the next one. I didn't realize you did that without me. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not waiting for you. My life doesn't revolve around you. I have my own life. I am my own person. And this is a really powerful thing to do because it pulls your energy out of them and it pulls it back into you. And think about it. When are you the strongest energetic force? It is when you are pouring into you. It is when your magnetism is very high and strong and magnetic and powerful because you've got all of your energy instead of your energy being scattered into so many other different people. And that's when we can feel so distorted and compartmentalized because instead of our energetic life force being in us, we've placed it in all of these other people, all of these other things. And dating yourself just brings the energy back into you. So go and see that movie that you want to see by yourself. Go and do that class that you want to go and do by yourself. Go and book that dinner that you want to go to by yourself. And I know this sounds terrifying if you've never done it before, but when you get used to it and you start just doing it and having fun with it, oh my gosh, it is such a powerful practice and it really increases your value as a person and it will change other people's relationship with you and how they think about you. The next thing that's really going to help you choose yourself, which I believe is so foundational to so many people, and it's one that not many people are doing, it is really to focus on nervous system regulation. Because if your nervous system is currently tuned to only feel safe, only feel loved, only feel secure when it is in the presence of other people, when it is wanted by other people, when it is connected with other people, one, I want to say that is somewhat of a natural thing because we have really connected and grown through a practice of co-regulation. But two, if you do not learn how to regulate by yourself, you are always going to feel like you're going to have someone else around you, whether it be your partner or your sister or your father or some kind of authority figure to regulate you. And this can leave you in a very dependent state, and it can lead you really to create a lot of tension between you and your regulator, because that person that you always need to regulate you might sometimes need time away from you, or they might not need to go and do something else, or they might not have the capacity to be with you the way that you need them to be with you in that moment. And then that can lead you to becoming even more dysregulated. You might have noticed this in a relationship, and I definitely, before I did a lot of deep work on this, had this show up in my own relationship where I was relying on my partner always to be my sense of regulation. And when something big would happen, some kind of big trauma or tremor or test or trial or tribulation in our business or something, where he also needed to go off and regulate himself and he needed time and space to come back to himself, and he pulled away from me, I would absolutely freak out. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need you. I need you here. You're my safety blanket. And that then caused a lot of issues in our relationship. So nervous system regulation can happen in partnership, and that is called co-regulation. But we all really need to learn how to regulate ourselves as individuals. And if you are someone that is on a nervous system regulation journey, hi, I've been there. I'm someone that went through a lot of trauma and then has regulated and grown and done so much to get to where I am today, to be in a completely different nervous system makeup. But in the last 18 months, this has been a massive focus of mine and my work and the work that I've been doing with students, and also the deep work that I've been doing with myself. Nervous system regulation to me is the foundation of growth. It is so, so important and so overlooked. I actually created something to really help people with nervous system regulation, to make it practical, to make it actionable, and to really allow it to be something that integrates into your everyday life. What I created is a journey called 75 Regulate. It is a journey that you will find on the Mindspo app, and what it is it's 15 minutes every single day focused on regulation practices. And it's all different forms of regulation practices, from EFT to breath work to meditation to visualization to walking meditations. There are so many different regulation practices in there. I also have somatic practices, and it's really designed to help you learn how to come back into your body, how to feel safe in your body, how to really work with your own nervous system individually, so you're not out there searching for someone else to make you feel safe. Because when we can really learn to self-source our safety, self-source our own growth, self-source our own love, that is when we are going to feel so much more powerful. Other people are going to feel our power. Other people are going to feel our presence. And we're not going to be in that needing, desperate energy anymore, because we don't need someone else to come save us. We don't need someone else to come and soothe us or regulate our nervous system. No, we know how to do that for ourselves, by ourselves, when the time calls for it. And it doesn't mean that you can never co-regulate with someone else, but it also just means that you have the ability to do it for yourself. So if you don't have someone else, then you can self-source that safety. And that is so important. So if you are someone that is wanting to regulate your nervous system and you're wanting to dive deeper into this, I'm going to put the links for 75 Regulate and a code so you can join down below. You'll find it on the Mindspo app. It's where I put all of my best stuff. And my third and final piece of advice that I want to give you on today's podcast when it comes to choosing yourself is something that I've been doing for over a decade, and it is a powerful practice that I want you to adapt from this day forward. And it is simply the practice that if it's not a fuck yes for you, then it's a no. Let me say that again. If it's not a fuck yes for you, it is a no. Stop saying yes to the things that you don't actually want to be doing. Stop saying yes to pouring in or helping or serving or showing up to the things that you know in your heart of hearts, in your bones, in your nervous system, in your head, in your mind, in your body is a big fat no. You need to get a lot more clearer with people about where your boundaries are, where your standards are, and where you actually just don't want to show up, or where you just can't show up anymore. Having boundaries, using your voice, setting really, really strong guidelines with other people about how much they can take from you is so important. And I feel like if you are someone that is just constantly saying yes, that's constantly being there, that's constantly pouring into other people, you are someone that needs to learn how to say no. And realize that when you say no, no is a full sentence. You do not have to give a winding explanation. And I'm not saying that you just say no and leave it and that's it and you sound like a bitch. It's like, no, I'm not available then, but I hope you have a great time. Like, you don't have to tell them why you're not available. You don't have to make some big story or apologize or make it sound like that it's bad that you're not showing up or that you can't be there. You just have to learn how to say no and hold the frame, and hold it from a place of you're not in trouble. Because I know that when you're choosing other people so much, when you're pouring into other people so much, it's usually from some kind of trauma state where we feel like we have to be that person. But I want you to recognize that you are the only person that has decided that you have to be that person. And people will treat you how you treat yourself. So the reason and why people have this expectation of you or feel like you're always going to be there is because you have always been there. It's because you've always made yourself available. It's because you've always poured into other people. It's because you've always choose them over yourself. They don't know any different. So that's what they expect from you. So you need to show them, no, things are changing. I'm choosing myself. I can't do this. I hope you have a great time. I won't be making this one. Practice before you have to say no. If you are new to this practice of saying no, you can even use ChatGPT. Go on ChatGPT and say, hey, I need to learn how to say no, and I need to learn how to actually get out of things that I don't want to do. How can I do this in a way that is direct but kind and courteous? Literally use AI to figure out certain ways that you would like to say no and play around with them, edit them in your phone, and then have a notes section on your phone of all the different ways that you can say no or reject things or let things go. And just know that you're allowed to say no. If someone is asking if you can do something or if you'd like to do something, you have the option. And we need to remember this. Like when you are being asked, you have the option. If someone's not telling you something and it's not like a compulsory thing that you have to do, you're allowed to use the other option. It's just because you've been saying yes so much that you think no doesn't exist. So remember, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. And practice saying no. Lean into the no. It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might overthink it at first. But let me tell you, when you start saying no to the things that are no longer aligned in your life and instead you start pouring into you and you build up your life force, oh my gosh, things are going to get so much better for you. And as I've been saying in this podcast series, the best is yet to come for you, my friend. But the best will only come for you when you start choosing the best for you. And the best thing for you right now is choosing yourself. It's pouring into yourself. It's remembering that you are the main character, that you're not the side character, that you deserve to be loved and adored. And you need to show people that you love and adore you so that other people want you, desire you, feel that you are of high value because you are just not watering yourself down anymore because you are choosing yourself. Because you are worthy of being chosen, and people will always treat you how you treat yourself. So that is today's podcast, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this one. I love talking about energetics, dating, and relationships, and all of these kinds of topics. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Leave a comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, slide into my DMs at Rochelle_Fox. Always let me know if you loved an episode. It helps me know what to record more of in the future. And don't forget, I have my self-love retreat, the Mindspo self-love retreat that has now helped over 1,000 women choose themselves, pour into themselves, really turn into the best version of themselves. All the details for that is down below in the description box. Those retreats they're portals. They are portals to a completely new timeline where you just transform your whole entire life. It's amazing. So we have so many reviews, so many things I could say about those retreats. I just know the women that are meant to be on those retreats. They just know in their heart of hearts. So if there's something in you that says, I need to choose myself and I need to learn how to do it, and I really need to be around other women that are pouring into themselves, that retreat is for you. All the details, as always, down below for my app and all the things that I mentioned. And lastly, my friend, always remember, you create your own reality. So go out there and make some magic.